So over the last 5 years, while everyone was obsessing over these shiny new AI chatbots and, writing clever software prompts, there's this quiet legacy industrial plumbing company that saw its stock surge an unbelievable 745%.
Yeah, I mean, it climbed from $53 a share all the way to $448. It's just wild.
It is.
And if you are really looking for the defining financial story of the AI boom, I mean, it's just in the algorithms. It is buried underground in the physical infrastructure.
Right, absolutely. And to put that into perspective for you listening, if you had invested $10,000 into this company 5 years ago, that single investment would be worth roughly $84,500 today.
Wow.
Yeah. The company is Ciena Corporation. They trade under the ticker symbol CIEN. And, well, welcome to today's deep dive. Because our mission today is to understand exactly how this traditional, optical networking company transformed into an absolute heavyweight in the AI infrastructure space.
Right, and we're pulling our insights today directly from their recent SEC filings. So we're looking closely at their 10Ks and 10Qs, along with the raw transcripts from their latest earnings calls.
Primary sources.
Exactly. And what those documents reveal is, honestly, it's a masterclass in how limitless digital demands are just crashing into the hard physical constraints of the real world.
Yeah, because whether you are, an investor trying to spot the next massive wave or a tech enthusiast, or really just trying to wrap your head around how the internet actually works when you ask a language model a question, this is the ultimate case study.
Definitely.
We talk so much about the cloud, right? But the cloud is actually heavy. It's made of dirt and glass and lasers and thousands of miles of cable.
Right, which is exactly where Ciena comes in. Because to understand that 745% stock jump, we have to look under the hood at what they actually sell.
Right, because they aren't selling consumer software.
No, not at all.
So let's break down their business. Looking at the filings, they basically have three main revenue segments. You have routing and switching, which is the smallest piece. That makes up about 10% of their revenue.
Right.
Then there is software and services sitting at about 15%. But the absolute heavyweight champion of their business, generating 75% of their money, is optical networking.
And just to put numbers to that, in fiscal year 2025, that optical segment alone pulled in $3.2 billion.
That's huge.
It is. Total company revenue hit $4.3 billion, which was up 20% year over year. But to really grasp their dominance, we have to explain the actual hardware they make.
Yeah, let's get into the weeds a bit.
So the filings mention things like WAN systems, 800G ZR pluggable optics, RLS line systems, and then their absolute crown jewel, which are the WaveLogic coherent DSPs.
Okay, wait, let's unpack that. Because a phrase like 800G ZR pluggable optics sounds like a prop from a sci-fi movie.
It really does.
So when we talk about WAN systems wide area networks, we are basically talking about the massive high-capacity pipes that connect entire cities together, right?
Exactly, the main arteries.
Right. And pluggable optics are essentially these tiny, hot, swappable laser cartridges that you plug directly into a server rack.
Yeah, that is a great way to visualize it. And that brings us to the coherent DSPs, or digital signal processors.
Okay.
Because this is where Ciena's real technological magic actually happens.
So I was trying to figure out how to explain this DSP technology, and I think I have an analogy. Let me know if this works.
Let's hear it.
Imagine a fiber optic cable is a long, hollow pipe, and the digital data is water. Normally, you just shoot one single stream of blue water through the pipe.
Oh, right. Standard data transmission.
But as AI demands just completely explode, that pipe gets backed up. And normally, you'd have to spend billions of dollars to literally dig up the earth and lay down dozens of new pipes.
Which takes years.
Exactly. But Ciena's WaveLogic chips act like a mathematical prism. They can perfectly split, twist, and stack 100 different colors of water through that exact same pipe at the exact same time without any of the colors mixing.
I like that. What's fascinating here is the actual physics behind your prism analogy. So in the industry, it is called phase and amplitude modulation.
Phase and amplitude modulation.
Yeah, light travels in waves.
Yeah.
Ciena's DSP chips actually alter the physical shape and height of those light waves at microscopic speeds.
Wait, microscopic speeds?
Yes, they're encoding billions of ones and zeros onto a single photon stream. I mean, they are literally pushing the absolute physical limits of how much information can travel on a beam of light.
And doing that allows massive tech giants to basically shove exponentially more data through the fiber optic cables they already have buried in the ground.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which is a massive cost saving.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And it's the foundation of their competitive moat. Now, I would categorize Ciena's moat as, well, narrow, but it is incredibly deep.
How so?
Because they design these coherent DSP chips themselves in-house, they maintain a 1 to 2 generation technology lead over the rest of the industry. I mean, they already have a 1.6 terabit capability on their product roadmap.
Which, in the hardware world, a 2-generation lead is basically an eternity.
Absolutely an eternity.
Mm.
And that technological lead feeds directly into their sales cycle. So when Ciena sells to a hyperscaler, the massive tech giants building the AI cloud, those companies put the hardware through a grueling 12 to 18-month qualification process.
They don't just buy it off the shelf.
No, they test every single failure point. And once Ciena is actually designed into that hyperscaler's architecture, the switching costs become astronomically high.
Right, because ripping Ciena out and replacing them with a competitor is expensive, it's painful, and it risks taking the whole network offline.
Exactly. Though looking at the broader market, they definitely don't have a total monopoly.
Yeah, the sources mention serious competition from companies like Nokia, who recently bought Infinera to bulk up their optical division, and obviously Huawei is a massive player internationally.
Right, and hyperscalers generally hate relying on a single vendor for anything.
Yeah, they like to have options.
They do prefer to multi-source just to keep pricing competitive. But Ciena's technological edge has really kept them at the top of the stack, which actually brings us to the core catalyst of this whole story.
The why?
Right. We've established they make the ultimate digital highways. But why did the AI boom specifically light a fire under this legacy optical networking business?
See, I was wondering this too, because wait, I thought a data center was just a giant self-contained supercomputer in one massive building.
That's what most people think.
Right. If they're just training an AI model inside a warehouse full of GPUs, why do they even need to connect them over hundreds of miles? Like, why not just build a bigger building?
Well, because they have literally hit the physical limits of modern infrastructure. It comes down to a concept called AI scale across networking.
Scale across networking. Okay.
Yeah. When a hyperscaler trains a large language model today, the amount of computational power required is just staggering. You physically cannot get enough electricity from a single local power grid to run it all in one building.
Oh, wow. So they just can't get the juice.
They can't get the juice, and you can't cool it fast enough either. Utilities are actively telling tech giants they simply cannot draw any more power in certain counties.
Okay, so they are forced to break the supercomputer apart.
Precisely.
Yep.
They have to distribute the computing load. So you might have, say, half the AI training happening in a facility in Ohio and the other half in a facility in Virginia.
Got it.
But for the AI model to learn properly, those two separate buildings need to communicate with each other, as if the GPUs were sitting on the exact same motherboard.
So the latency has to be near absolute zero.
Zero latency,
Yeah.
and the bandwidth has to be astronomical.
And that is where the mathematical prism comes in.
Exactly. Ciena's WaveLogic 6 Extreme chips and their 800G ZR pluggables, they became the default technology for 3 of the major hyperscalers, precisely because it solves this exact bottleneck.
Right.
It allows them to scale their bandwidth and connect these distributed clusters across the country without spending a decade securing permits to dig new fiber trenches.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And there is a secondary demand wave hitting them at the exact same time, isn't there? The traditional telecom company.
Yes, the telco reinvestment cycle. Because for years, service providers sort of underinvested in their networks. But now, all this AI-generated traffic, video generation, massive data scraping, it's just flooding the public internet.
Right. Everyone is using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's forcing telecom companies into a massive multi-year refresh cycle just to keep the internet from crashing.
Well, if Ciena's tech is the only thing keeping the AI boom from grinding to a halt, that obviously has to be showing up in their bank account. But looking at the timeline from the earnings calls, this was not a smooth, uninterrupted climb at all.
No, it was a pretty violent trough-to-peak financial turnaround. I mean, the market completely mispriced them for a very long time.
Let's talk about that trough, because in early fiscal year 2024, it looked really rough. The stock was sitting in the $40 range, and if you look at their trailing 12-month operating profit, which is basically the cash generated from their core business over a year, It was in free fall.
It really was.
It dropped from $315 million down to just $217 million by the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and if you were an analyst just glancing at the surface metrics back then, you'd assume this was a legacy telecom supplier in structural decline, getting crushed by inflation and slow telco spending.
But then you hit the breakout in late 2025 and early 2026. The operating margins suddenly just explode. Revenue jumps 20%.
Yep.
And that trailing 12-month operating profit, it rockets from that $217 million low to a staggering $835 million.
It's an insane jump.
It's the moment the broader market finally woke up and realized this wasn't just a telecom recovery, right? It was a foundational AI play. But wait, how did the profit jump so violently on only a 20% revenue increase?
So that is the magic of their business model. Ciena uses what is called a fabless manufacturing model.
Okay, which means they design the complex chips, but they don't actually build the multi-billion-dollar semiconductor fabrication plants, the fabs, to make them.
Right. They outsource the actual baking of the silicon to companies like TSMC.
So they don't have the overhead.
Exactly. And by avoiding those massive factory costs, they maintain incredible operating leverage. They don't have billions of dollars tied up in factory maintenance when demand is low.
That makes sense.
So when the AI demand wave finally hit and their baseline fixed costs were already covered, almost every single new dollar of revenue flowed straight to the bottom line as pure profit.
Right, which explains why the financial scorecard metrics flip so quickly. There is this specific metric analysts use for software and tech companies called the R40, right?
The rule of 40, yeah.
It's a quick health check where you basically add the revenue growth rate and the profit margin together. If the number is over 40, you are in elite territory.
Right.
Well, in early 2024, Ciena's R40 was actually negative. By Q2 of 2026, it hit 47%.
And that specific transformation forced a massive re-rating of the company's overall valuation. I mean, 5 years ago, the stock traded at a price-to-earnings, or PE ratio, of about 15x.
Okay.
Today, that PE ratio has expanded all the way to 127x.
So wait, let's pause on that, because the 127x multiple is wild.
It's astronomically high.
That means investors are paying $127 today for every single dollar of profit Ciena makes right now. They are completely ignoring yesterday's performance and placing a massive, really expensive bet on the future.
Yes.
What exactly is the market pricing in to justify that kind of premium?
Well, they are pricing in a $7 billion backlog of orders.
$7 billion.
Yeah. In just the first quarter of fiscal 2026 alone, that backlog surged by $2 billion. So the demand is entirely guaranteed for the foreseeable future. They have already raised their full-year guidance to over $6 billion in revenue, targeting up to 28% year-over-year growth.
A $7 billion backlog is honestly hard to conceptualize. But the market isn't just paying for the current chips, are they? Because reading through these transcripts, the analysts on the earnings calls keep asking about the next major technology transition.
They're looking ahead.
Right. Things like co-packaged optics or CPO. The filing specifically mentions Ciena's Vesta optical engines and their Nubis technology. What exactly is co-packaged optics and why does it matter?
Okay, so it solves the next physical bottleneck, which is heat and energy loss.
Heat loss, okay.
Right now, data travels electrically across a motherboard until it reaches a laser module at the edge of the board, which turns it into light. Pushing those electrical signals all the way across the board generates massive amounts of heat and wastes a ton of power.
Which we know they don't have enough of.
Exactly. So co-packaged optics takes the microscopic laser, the optical engine, and bakes it directly onto the silicon chip right next to the processor itself.
Oh, wow. So the data becomes light almost instantly, saving all that energy.
Exactly. And Ciena's Vesta and Nubis technologies are positioning them to completely dominate that next transition. But there is an even bigger shift the market is pricing in, which is ramping up in fiscal 2027.
What's that?
The hyper-rail architecture.
Hyper-rail, which sounds incredibly fast.
It is. Think of traditional data center traffic, like commuting through city streets. Data has to stop at various intersections, the network switches, before moving to the next processor.
Right, there's traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hyper-rail architecture bypasses the local traffic entirely. It builds a high-speed, direct optical bullet train directly between the AI processors.
Wow. If we look at the bigger picture here, this is where that 127x valuation starts to actually make sense to institutional investors. Well, if Ciena's hyperrail architecture becomes the baseline industry standard for how AI clusters communicate, it completely changes the nature of their business. It takes that narrow product moat we talked about earlier and transforms it into a massive, deeply entrenched platform moat extending well beyond 2028.
They become the foundation.
Right. They aren't just selling a laser component anymore. They basically own the entire ecosystem of how the supercomputer breathes.
You're exactly right. But that actually brings us to the fundamental tension of this whole deep dive.
The risks.
Yes. At $448 a share, with a 127x multiple, the market has priced Ciena for absolute perfection. I mean, there is zero margin for error here.
So what could actually go wrong? Because it sounds like the demand is locked in. The tech is industry-leading.
Well, the first major roadblock is the backlog itself, or rather, the physical reality of supply chains.
Oh,
Yeah, demand is not Ciena's problem right now.
Yeah.
Bottlenecks are. They physically cannot secure enough specialized components, specifically indium phosphide modulators, specialty lasers, and custom ASICs, to build the equipment fast enough.
Okay.
Management has openly stated they cannot convert the backlog into revenue at the speed the market wants.
Okay, let's create a better analogy for this than just like a long wait list at a restaurant. It's more like an aircraft manufacturer.
Okay, I'm following.
You have signed contracts for 5,000 brand new jumbo jets. The airlines have handed you billions in cash, but you cannot source the highly specialized titanium screws required for the landing gear.
Right.
So the entire factory floor stalls, the planes sit unfinished, and the revenue doesn't actually hit your bank account.
That is precisely the danger. And it feeds directly into challenge number 2, which is hyperscaler concentration risk. A massive portion of Ciena's future growth relies on just 3 major hyperscaler customers.
Which is an obvious red flag, because if your aircraft factory is stalled because you can't get titanium screws, what happens if one of those 3 massive airlines gets tired of waiting?
Exactly.
What stops them from taking their billions of dollars and multi-sourcing from Nokia or Huawei, who might have a slightly different supply chain?
This raises the most critical question for their future. Because if supply constraints force a major hyperscaler to look elsewhere, Ciena doesn't just lose a single sale.
No, the entire narrative cracks.
Exactly. The narrative of their dominance cracks, the pace of their backlog conversion slows down, and remember that unforgiving 127x valuation.
Yep.
That multiple is entirely dependent on hypergrowth. Any miss on revenue, any dip in margins, any weak guidance just because of a supply chain hiccup, and that valuation multiple will violently collapse.
Wow. It is the ultimate high-wire act, really. They have the absolute best product in the hottest technological market in a generation, but they're balancing a $7 billion barbell while riding a unicycle made of fragile supply chains.
It requires flawless execution from their management team over the next several years because the market will punish any missteps severely.
Right. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, let's zoom out and look at the incredible journey we've covered. We've watched Ciena transform from a traditional telecom equipment maker, struggling with negative growth metrics just 2 years ago, into a foundational AI infrastructure winner.
Yeah, by solving the massive bottleneck of AI scale across networking, they delivered a jaw-dropping 745% return to their investors.
They really prove that the artificial intelligence revolution is fundamentally a hardware story.
Without a doubt.
And for you listening, this is the biggest takeaway. We spend so much time obsessing over which startup is writing the best code or, who is designing the most efficient software algorithms. But the literal physical plumbing of the internet, the infrastructure making it all possible, is where massive, quiet wealth is being generated.
But catching that wave requires vigilant tracking.
Right. You have to read the earnings transcripts, watch the operating leverage, and keep a hawk eye on the obscure supply chains of specialty lasers.
Because if the physical infrastructure can't scale, the digital revolution just stops in its tracks.
It hits a brick wall. Which brings me back to our opening thought about the weight of the cloud. The invisible ether of AI is actually grounded in dirt, glass, and physics.
Literally.
And it leaves me with the final thought for you to ponder. We always assume the AI revolution will eventually be constrained by a lack of computer chips, right? Or that we will simply run out of electricity to power the data centers.
That's the common fear.
But given Ciena's massive waitlist and the incredibly complex physics required to modulate light waves, what if the true bottleneck of the AI revolution isn't compute power at all? What if the ultimate limit to artificial intelligence is simply the physical physics of how much data we can realistically shoot through a glass tube with a laser?
The physical world always sets the speed limit.
Something to think about the next time you ask an AI a complex question and expect an instant answer from the ether. Keep questioning the physical world around you, look for the plumbing beneath the magic, and keep digging deeper. We'll see you on the next deep dive.